Right. So I am a neurodivergent person on a GLP1. Hi, hello, hi. Hi, if this is your first time here, hello, my name is Arlene. I'm a performing singer-songwriter, and I am a late diagnosed autistic person with ADHD. And here I am in my studio trying to figure out what it means. Who am I? Who am I at 58 to find out that I'm autistic and that all those things, these weird mysteries that had been dogging me all my life, were autism? That was amazing. So, one of the things I like to do is to dive in and find out what's going on. So this channel is about, right now, is about what the heck is going on in my head? What is me? What is the mask? What is autism? What is ADHD? What does it matter at this point? I'm 60. What does it matter? Well, I wanted to give you an update for your coming back. Hello, it's nice of you to come back. Thank you so much. You asked me for an update on GLP1. So if this isn't a thing that you are interested in, you should get interested in it because, listen, here's the interesting thing. I'm going to do this for science because I am a neurodivergent person on a GLP1. Which is a drug that is administered with a syringe once a week to help me shed weight. That is the plan. That was the plan. Now, why would I need to do that? Okay, well, for one thing, menopause happened. But before menopause happened, if I go back, way far back, when I was a kid, a big way that I managed my way through community, well into high school, actually, was through sports. Sports are a great way to fit in with people. It's a meritocracy. It's, there are rules. And then, so university happened after high school for me. And I lost all of my community. I lost all of my physical activity. So the athletic part of me kind of went away. It went away as an adult. And I guess I was thinking, I don't know how adults do sporty things and be sporty. And the people I met when I moved to a new town to, rediscover myself was they weren't sporty people, and it never occurred to me as I got older. Never occurred to me until about 10 years ago when I joined a softball team. Yeah, it was fun. I did it for 3 seasons. It was fun. We were called the Ball Busters. But by then, I was already way out of shape, terribly out of shape. I walk, but that's about it. I walk, and then if I do physical projects, I'm lifting things and I'm schlepping and so forth. But what am I trying to say? Yes, during the pandemic, like everybody else, I was sedentary and menopause was happening. And then burnout started. And wow, I gained a lot of weight and I couldn't shift it. And I've been trying to shift smaller portions of weight for decades, but it won't go away. It keeps coming back. And it's because of my brain. My brain has weird things about food. And one of the things it has is, this thing where you say no. You say no when you want to say yes, right? My brain won't let me. If I say, don't eat this thing, my brain wants to eat that thing. Yeah, so my brain was sabotaging me. Why do I think that? Well, because when I was introduced to this, the way this drug, this GLP-1 works, this fascinated me because it disrupts brain signals. It's a brain thing. It stops the signaling between up here and down in this area here. The part that tells me I'm full, and the part that tells me I don't need to obsess about a thing. So I want to talk more about that. I hope I don't forget to talk more about that. That's the autistic part of me. Hey, honey, I try to write things down. I try to remember things, but if I do, my brain says no. No. Computer says no. What was I talking about? I've already lost my train of thought. No, I haven't. But I thought that this could work for me because hypnosis, EMDR, was very helpful for me. So when I thought about weight loss as a brain function rather than a body function, I was comfortable with that. Which brings me into an interesting thing in my brain, I think. Yeah, I'm far away from my body. I have been far away from my body. When I did sports and did athletic things, I was in my body, but I long went out of my body. Traumas happened, and yeah, I've talked about this before. Dissociation is a thing for me and many other autistics who are traumatized. All right, GLP1. So, right, what was the point? Why did I think it could work for me? Well, it's about my mom. My mom, yeah, same mom who passed a few months ago. Yeah, same mom. Yeah, she went on a GLP-1. Pardon me, just low. On a GLP-1 for surgery, which was going to improve her life. And the GLP-1 worked for her. And I thought if it worked for her, I think it'll work for me. So even though she did have her surgery and she died afterwards, it wasn't the GLP-1's fault, probably. No, it wasn't. And in sort of a I'm going to live my life moment after my mom passed, I thought, what am I going to wait for? I'm going to wait to get bigger and more defeated and more fatigued and depressed about it. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to try this GLP-1. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this brain disrupting thing, this body chemistry thing. So, all right, that is why. Right? Did I talk about that? That is why. So then, now I'm going to talk about the two ways I think it affects me in my brain and in my body. What do you want to hear first? In my body. Oh, yeah. Brain, body, brain, body. Everybody's freaking out. Okay. Body, brain, body. Okay, here's the deal with my body. There's so many side effects, and they're awful. Now, for science, I do admit I always feel the side effects. I don't know if I've ever taken a drug and not felt the side effects. This particular drug has a way of stopping your gastric emptying, it's called. So food stays in your system for longer, so you feel full. All right? I got to get back to feel full in my brain. So remind me about that one, okay? Let's put a pin over there. So you feel full. That's the idea. So you don't keep going back. I don't keep going back for more food. I actually feel full, which is an important thing because when I'm dissociated from my body, I don't feel anything going on in my body. So I don't feel anything. I'm not full until maybe later I feel really full. But not now on a GLP-1 because now I almost always feel full until I've gastric emptied, I guess, and then I'm completely empty. And then I'm so hungry. But the hungry feeling feels remarkably like the super full feeling. And both of those feelings are just like feeling nauseated. Right, okay. Now, this is not a thing to boast about, but we all have our skills, and I'm going to take this skill. I'm going to take this skill. If I could monetize this, ooh, no, it would be gross because my skill is barfing. Very good. Good barfer, vomiter, regurgitator. I am good. I'm good at it. I can work with the pacing. I know where I am in the house, where to get to, safety barfing location. I can do it. And I'm a pretty quiet barfer, so in social settings, when I'm not home alone, people don't get too freaked out. But this drug, holy baloney, what is that? What is that? That thing? Wow, it's basically musical. I'm like a human tuba. It's spectacular. The sounds, that come out. Well, I would say spectacular. It is spectacular, but I can't really appreciate it because I'm just miserable. So I had to figure out, which is what they say, I had to go for a real schedule, like a real actual schedule. Eat at 7, eat at 12, eat at 4. And, okay, what physical. Other side effects. Well, there's the side effects of the drugs. There's nausea. There's headaches, right? I live my whole life with headaches, so getting a headache, that's not a big threat for me, like, or whatever. But it's a drag because I've been working in other areas of my life to not have headaches. So it's weird to take a drug that gives me a headache. A little bit of insomnia. Hey, hello, insomnia. But then sleepiness. Yep, sleepiness, fatigue. And I had to figure out that protein was a real hitch for me because, everybody's like, protein, eat meat, just eat meat. I don't eat a lot of meat. I'm not a huge fan of meat. I was a vegetarian for many years, and then for reasons, I started eating meat again. And I'll have meat every now and then, or I'll have a tiny bit of meat. So I have to figure out the other foods. I have to figure out protein-rich foods that are available in other foods, which I can eat because autistic, I have weird food things. Well, I don't think they're weird food things. So foods have flavors and textures and that are gross sometimes, and they're not acceptable, and I can't eat them, and I can't make myself eat them. I can't make myself eat them. And then, people like me have safe foods, and a lot of my safe foods over the years, I'll look at them, it's pretty unhealthy stuff, right? Gluten-free chicken nuggets. But I need to work on my actual diet thing, which brings me to brain, because number one thing, I started this drug thing, this weekly injection, this life-altering, this chemistry-altering, brain chemistry, body chemistry-altering medication, but I did not, autistic me, I did not account for it happening in my life. I just thought it was just a thing in my life and I don't need to think about it any further. So for weeks and months, even though I was taking this weekly shot, I could not figure out why I felt so crappy. And already being in burnout, I just thought, oh, this is another part of burnout. This is just a worse part of burnout. So it's taken about a month. I'm in my third month now. It's taken about the past 2 weeks, yeah, of trying to remember. I have to make it a priority. I have to make my body and my health a priority, which is not a thing that my brain does. I want to. I think of it. I know it's a good idea. Yeah, spectacular idea. I want to invest my time and energy and spirit into it. I know it's good for me. And then I forget. Or my brain says no. My brain just says no. And it won't let me. Right? Scientists, have you been talking about autistic people on GLP1s? Have you been talking to autistic people on GLP1s and ADHD people? Here's another thing that happens. Here's brain and body together. I take an ADHD medication, which is very helpful, and apparently it can sort of enhance elements of this GLP1. I think it depends on the person. I think it contributes to this wild thing that happens in my brain. Here's what happens. I will think, what is that feeling? What is that grindy feeling? And I'll think, it's been, 6 hours since I've eaten. Oh, I'm probably hungry. I should eat. I'm definitely going to eat. I'm going to eat. And then my brain, it's like it floats away. It's like it goes, it's like that plan, that concern, that process that I just went through, it just disappears. It totally disappears. And then I go about whatever it is that I'm doing until short time later, oh my God, I'm so hungry. Okay, so timers, right? Up in my brain, right? Makes me forget that I'm hungry. It's also disrupting some of the signals that I have with food that I do like. So I wonder if it's disrupting signals with food that I don't like, but I'm not going to try. I don't care. I don't care about it that much to know that part. So, are you on a GLP-1? Are you autistic? Were you thinking about going on a GLP-1? Here's what I would say. What is my recommendation? Well, right now, I think, yeah, okay, give it a go. Just be aware, maybe a little more aware than I was, or be prepared to be miserable. But hey, you know what? I'm miserable so much of the time. I work really hard to not be miserable, and actually shedding this weight and getting more, being able to move more and finding my athletic body again is what I'm hoping for. So I'm hoping it's worth it. I'm hoping to help with a bit of a reset in my brain. Yeah, to not deal with this as a physical thing, but a brain and physical thing. Because of course my brain is part of my physical thing. It's all part of the same unit, which I'm hoping to get some more understanding of. Thank you very much for coming by and listening to me rattle on about this. You take care of yourself. I'm going to take care of myself. And let's take care of some other people. I'm going to see you soon. Peace, my friend. Bye. Yeah, I'm always looking for myself. Who am I? And, what am I talking about? I don't know. What the heck am I talking about?